What if I told you that a single business deal, signed on one particular day, could quietly start to redraw the entire financial map of the world? Well, that's exactly the question at the heart of what we're exploring today, the Yuan pivot and a potential global power shift.
It all kicks off with this number, $80 billion. That's a staggering amount of money. But the real story here isn't just the price tag, it's how it was spent. And that's a detail that could change, well, pretty much everything.
All right, so circle this date in your mind, December 28th, 2025, because according to our source material, this is the day a financial earthquake sent shockwaves through the global system. It's being framed as a potential turning point in modern economic history.
So, what was this bombshell announcement all about? Let's break it down. The players, you've got China and Venezuela. The deal? A massive $80 billion investment from China to rebuild Venezuela's oil industry. But here's the part that really matters, the how. The entire payment, all $80 billion, was made in Chinese Yuan, completely, totally bypassing the US dollar.
Now, a move like this doesn't just happen out of the blue. It's a calculated play, and it's rooted in decades of geopolitics. So to really get why this one deal is considered such a breaking point, we've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. We have to ask, how in the world did we get here?
To really wrap our heads around this, we need to understand the three key players on this global chessboard. Each one had its own motives, its own strengths, and its own weaknesses that, when you look at it, made a deal like this almost inevitable.
Okay, so this table lays out the whole situation perfectly. First up, Venezuela. What's its biggest asset? The world's largest proven oil reserves, by far. But its major challenge? Its infrastructure is in a state of total collapse, so it can't even get to that wealth. Then you have China. It's flush with cash, just massive amounts of investment capital. Its big problem? Securing enough energy for the long haul. And finally, the United States. Its power is deeply, deeply tied to the petrodollar system. And its challenge? Well, it's got to maintain that global currency dominance.
So, with the players and their motivations set, let's dig into exactly what this Yuan pivot is. We're going to look at how it strategically works to just step around the traditional financial system. To really see how disruptive this is, you first have to understand the system it's disrupting. For decades, the entire world has run on what's called the petrodollar system. It's a simple but incredibly powerful deal. If you want to buy or sell oil on the global market, you do it in US dollars. This creates a constant, huge demand for dollars, which helps cement its role as the world's go-to currency.
And this shows the new model. This deal created a kind of parallel pipeline. So, step one. China invests its $80 billion, but it's all in yuan, and it goes straight into Venezuela's infrastructure. Step 2. Venezuela uses that cash to get its oil fields working again. And step 3, this is the absolute game changer. Venezuela pays China back, not with dollars, but with oil. And that oil is priced and paid for entirely in yuan. The dollar is just not in the equation.
So, what does this all mean for the United States? This deal wasn't just another business transaction, it was a direct challenge to the financial order of things. And that's why the source material calls it America's breaking point.
And this quote right here, it really gets to the core of it. This deal permanently locked the world's largest oil reserves into a non-dollar system. Think about that. It's not just about one payment. It's about taking the biggest pool of oil on the planet and basically building a wall around it, separating it from the dollar-based system.
Let's just put these two systems side by side for a second. On the left, you've got the old petrodollar system. If you wanted oil, you needed US dollars. Simple as that. This reinforced the dollar's dominance and put the US right at the center of all energy finance. Now look to the right, the Yuan pivot. Suddenly, a massive chunk of the world's oil supply can completely bypass the dollar. This creates a whole new parallel system with the yuan and China at its center.
So, let's zoom all the way out. Because this isn't just a story about China, Venezuela, and the US. This single deal could have implications for the entire world, for the financial system that we've all pretty much taken for granted for generations.
So when you really step back and look at it, what does this one event actually represent? Well, for one, it sets a powerful new precedent for how countries can trade for resources. It's also, you could argue, the biggest challenge the petrodollar system has faced in 50 years. It signals a real, tangible shift in the global economic balance of power. And maybe most importantly, this could be the first concrete step towards a totally new, multipolar currency world, one where the dollar is no longer the only game in town.
And that leaves us with one absolutely massive question. One deal, one date, one single pivot away from the dollar. We've laid out the mechanics and what the source material claims the stakes are.
But the ultimate answer, well, that's for the future to decide. Is this the deal that actually ends a financial era?